Hey, you guys, I recorded this message for the third time. I tried it without crying. I could not record it without crying, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm not ashamed when I cry because it's for it. I know when I cry, I know God is there. I feel His presence more than I do sometimes in churches because when He's there, you cannot deny it. It's it's overwhelming, okay? So let me tell you, I felt detached from God for quite a bit of time, and I wondered why I don't hear from Him, right? Like, why don't I hear you, God? Why I cannot pray and so on? And then God reminded me. He didn't talk to me. He just reminded me. Didn't you forget which message you wanted to share with others? I'm here trying to share it without crying. I cannot. For 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I don't know, maybe a month, I had an idea to share a message about loving your neighbor. But then other things came across and I guess I disobeyed God. I just didn't feel like sharing. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna share it tomorrow and maybe next week, and I didn't. And then I'm wondering why I cannot pray, why I cannot read the Bible, why I cannot listen, hearing from God. It's because there are two messages in one. When you disobey God, no wonder He not gonna speak until you do the last thing He asks of you. That's how He teaches me, you guys. Everybody gets a different message, a different whisper from God. You know inside what you have to do. You just don't want to do it. Your flesh doesn't want to do it. Your mind doesn't want to do it. You focus so much about other things that you don't do it. I didn't want to post this thing because I'm like, oh, this is so small. But something small is sometimes too big for God, right? For God's people. Look, I'm crying like a baby because it's not me talking, it's Him trying to share this. So, first message, 2 in 1, you guys. First message is, of course, He loves you deeply. He whispers to everybody different. You can take a verse and everybody can interpret it. Every time you hear the Bible or you get a message, everybody gets a message differently. It's not because the people want to hear every time something different. God opens sometimes different things for different people. Like a rose for me can mean love, but for somebody else, seeing a rose means hope. For other ones, seeing a rose is death. You don't know. God knows. That's why God uses simple things throughout the day. Of course, He's gonna show you scriptures, but He will open it up to you when you seek Him. That's why the devil is trying to confuse the people in church about, did really God say this or that? No, He speaks to you. You know what He meant. And if you don't know, you ask Him, you think about it, you meditate on what He said, and you just go in faith and do what He said, okay? Okay, I didn't mean to say this, but anyways. Second of all, God will not speak to you until you obey what He said the last time to you. When He asked of you 3 years ago to do something, you still didn't do it and you wonder why He's not speaking. It's because you didn't do the last thing He asked of you. That's the second thing. And the last thing I want to tell you, it's about when I saw Jesus the first time and the last time. For such a long time, it was like 5 years ago, maybe even more. I don't remember. I mean, I remember, but it was such a long time, you guys. I saw Jesus. You know, when the Bible is saying, love your neighbor as yourself, meditate on it. It's a commandment of God. When you have a neighbor and you love him, you love yourself, right? Something wonderful happens. When I started to love my neighbor, even if I didn't know her well, she was an old lady. I started to love her. I started to pray for her. I started to fast for her. This is love. You pray for their salvation. You love them unconditionally. You treat them nicely, even though they are assholes to you, they are mean to you, they are your enemies. It's so hard to love your neighbor. I have really bad neighbors here in this neighborhood, and I'm like rolling my eyes, you know. I moved out so many times. I'm trying hard to love them, but sometimes it's not easy, you guys. Sometimes it's horrible. Long ago, I had a sweet lady, old lady. She was my neighbor, and I knew she was in a hospital, and I started to pray. She was sick. I was praying and fasting for her, and praying and fasting every day after work. I prayed and fasted. I really tried my best to. I didn't think of love your neighbor. I just wanted to, like, God to help her out. Jesus didn't speak much to me in this time. I'm like, why I don't have a breakthrough? Why I don't have a breakthrough? I was praying and praying and praying and praying, and nothing happened. And out of nowhere, why I was like really pushing and pushing. I closed my eyes. I saw literally in the spirit white light coming closer to me. I looked up in the spirit, and I stopped praying, and I looked. And when I stopped, I saw Jesus from far away coming closer to me. He was really tiny. He was very far. He was getting closer and closer, and I got so confused that he's coming that I stopped thinking about prayer for this lady, and I started to look at him, but then he disappeared as soon as I stopped. So 5 years later or 6 years later, right now, I know it's like when you really, really want to get closer to Jesus, when you really want to see him, experience him, do follow his commandments. He said, love your neighbor, love your enemies, like pray for them. Like whatever commandment he's giving to us in the Bible, walk in love. What does this love means? Right? Like you have to ask him, you have to spend time with him. You know, everybody's different, you guys, and everybody has their own walk. I always wonder why every pastor and every Christian and every church is saying a different thing, you know, because God is saying, I will show to the humble myself as a humble. I will show myself to the greedy as greedy, something like this, you know. He will show himself to you the way you are, kind of thing. If you're screwed, he will not be like, I don't know how to explain to you. Just ask God what he means by it. But there's a verse like he will show himself. He has so many, God has so many faces, you guys. You cannot put him in a box, and he will show himself the way you are, you know, if you're loving and kind and you're caring, and that's how God will come to you. If you're like mean to people, like God's not gonna be mean to you, but he will like discipline you, I guess. Things like this. I don't know, you know. I will know as like the way you will know when I die, if I was right or not. But yeah, I think that's the message I need to share with you guys. If you like it or not, give me a comment. Yeah, you see, when you obey, you will know God is in there. When you start crying without intention, and when you was feeling strong before, and while you giving out a message and you feel so weak, like, and so humbled, you know God is inside this message. So you guys, God bless you. If you have any suggestions I can do on my channel, like prayer or something, let me know. I got this microphone. I like it a lot. I would love to make more videos, God willing. I would love to have some kind of ministry, like prayer or something. I don't know. You know, guys, like I still don't understand so many things. I still don't understand when God is saying like when God is saying like be like little children and pray like little children, like just few words. You don't need like all this 10 hours prayers. And there are other preachers and teachers and pastors, and they say you need to push through and you need to pray such a long time. Like, I don't know. I cannot tell you, because I feel like sometimes the more I feel God, the less I want to talk. I just want to like be in His presence, right? I don't know, how do you experience Him? I don't speak in tongues, you guys. I don't know how it is. I don't even know. I asked Him for such a long time. I experience Him in a different ways, you know. But yeah, I'm so sorry if I look like a mess right now. God bless you. I pray you have a wonderful day, week, month, and yeah, love one another and follow God's commandments, like loving, walking